If you have a D2C brand that is a single product store and you only sell one SKU, then 90% of the advice that you see online regarding retention marketing strategy is not applicable and can actually destroy your bottom line and really harm your ability to scale. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 key strategies that you can deploy to increase retention and increase overall profitability whilst reducing your CAC, which is the most important thing that you need to be focused on when you have this type of business. But why listen to me? Quick introduction, my name's Adam Kitchen. I've built retention marketing systems for over 300 D2C brands with my agency Magnet Monster. We're a Klaviyo Elite partner and we've worked with a lot of brands, some famous, well-renowned single SKU stores that were in high 8 figures that we help scale and build retention systems for, include Big Blankets as well as Snug Sofa. And I'm going to give you the exact strategies that we deployed whilst working on these accounts in today's video. So let's get right into it. So number 1, first thing you need to be aware of is the typical pop-ups that everyone loves to use to capture email addresses may be doing more harm than good if you just have a single product on your website. This is because trading a discount just to collect someone's email address usually works when the unit economics stacks in your favor to build in repeat purchases. Now, if you have a single SKU store, this can be incredibly damaging and significantly erode your margin. You need to fight for every single dollar that contributes to your contribution margin, and giving away discounts for anyone on the first purchase when it may be the only one that they make could be a fatal error that can put your store into the red. Now, I encourage you to experiment with price, do a lot of CRO front-end testing. You should be doing this anyway, regardless of what type of brands that you run, but just be very prudent and not to give away too much margin on the first sale unless you're increasing your prices to offset the discount. If you do this, you can make it work, you can generate leads, but don't just give margin away to any visitor who comes to the website. It's critical that you protect the margin on the first sale. So what do you do if you don't give away an offer? Well, the obvious ones are things like giveaways and sweepstakes, VIP clubs. These all have much lower of a conversion rate than an offer. So I do recommend still getting creative and finding a way to just integrate it into your margin, because ultimately in all the testing I've done, and trust me, I've done a lot, nothing converts customers better. I'm not just talking about generating leads and email addresses, but also going on to sales than giving a discount in the pop-up. So make sure it's baked into your margin and you're slightly increasing your prices to account for this, but don't just give it off if you haven't done the mathematics to make it work. The second strategy that you absolutely need to consider regards the post-purchase journey. Now, the typical post-purchase flows that you see set up for most D2C brands involve something like, hey, your order's on its way. We want you to enjoy the unboxing experience. Then here's how you use the product. And then you go into some type of replenishment reminder, trying to get that repeat sale. If you have a single product store, you can't really do that. And what you should be turning your attention to instead is building that word of mouth advocacy. So what are some strategies that you can actually do to deploy this? Well, first of all, generating reviews is absolutely critical. You need to do this anyway, irrespective of what you're selling, but try and get really creative with this. When I've worked with brands in the past, and some of the brands that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, one thing that we really leaned in on was trying to generate things like blog assets and deep UGC, where the customer does video interviews and really goes in depth into their product experience. Ultimately, what you're trying to do here is to create more media assets to feed your acquisition machine and offset the price of CAC. You want customers to be organically talking about the products on social media, and you need to find creative ways to incentivize them to do so by featuring them on things like your social channels. So if you're not leaning into this and you're not getting that advocacy on your social channels, it needs to be a core consideration, because without word of mouth, then you're going to be very dependent on paying more money to Meta, more to Google to get customers in at the top of the funnel. Your key focus should be lowering that CAC by encouraging customers in the post-purchase journey to talk about the products online and give you that virality. The third strategy that you need to consider is building a super strong referral program. Now, whilst you might not have the ability to drive a lot of repeat sales for these type of brands, you can definitely, again, lower the CAC by offering a really strong referral offer to your existing customers. And you just need to think about this logically. If you sell a high AOV item, then you're already going to be paying a lot of money for the cost per click and just to get customers to the website from social channels. So now why not have a very strong referral offer that you give to your existing customers? For example, giving them $50 off or $100 even in store credit to try and incentivize them bringing in people that they already know, especially if they really like your product. It's a really strong way to bring new customers in and again, stop the dependency on the paid channels. When you're not selling a product that has a lot of repeat sales and a good purchase latency baked into it, then you need to realign your objectives to focus on trying to bring in new customers from the post-purchase journey. A killer referral program is one of the strongest ways that you can achieve this. The fourth strategy is finding complementary products that you can release and add to your assortment. There comes a time ultimately for single SKU stores when you just reach everyone in the market and you need to develop complementary products to start driving repeat sales. The great thing about this is if you get it right, you can really increase the AOV on the first sale and again help with the unit economics and the profitability of your store. As an example, for Snug Sofa, they released scatter cushions that helped complement the sofas. And when we were able to do a lot of qualitative research to their existing database, we found that we were able to de-risk the product development and release the products very profitably. So it made a very easy, logical upsell, as well as driving repeat sales from the campaigns. So if you're not using your email list to validate and do R&D on new products, that is a hot tip for you that will lower the cost of research and development, and also managing inventory and forecasting this as well, which is very expensive and ties up a lot of cash for e-commerce brands. Same with big blankets. On the examples you can see in the screen, they released complementary products to complement their famous big blankets, and this became a logical cross-sell that we could sell to their existing customers. Now, it's important that you don't rush into this and release a ton of different products. The key is to de-risk the investment in bringing these new products into market by asking your existing database if they will be interested. As I said previously, this will help you manage inventory, invest accordingly, and make sure that you don't waste money on trying to release new products. And when you do actually bring them to market, they will be logical cross-sells that you can introduce to your existing customer base. The fifth strategy is sending your regular campaigns, but especially around key seasonal gifting periods. Now, think about this logically. You might not be necessarily buying a mattress over and over again or a sofa, but, okay, maybe if you have a lot of money, these products, you can definitely purchase single SKU products as gifts for friends and family. And a lot of people do this. In the example of big blankets, what we've seen when working with them was that around Christmas time, they had a lot of repeat sales from their existing customers. Now, it's unlikely, and through doing qualitative research, we found that not everyone is ordering 2 huge blankets for a home, but they were often buying these for people that were in their friend circle, their families, other significant others. So a lot of people do behave this way when it's coming up to key gifting periods. So definitely increase the campaign frequency around then and try to position the product that you're selling as a gift for others, especially to the people who've left you 5-star reviews. This is a really key period to ramp up the frequency and not rest on your laurels. You'll be able to drive a lot of cross-sells this way. So that's it. They're the 5 strategies. Ultimately, don't expect to have dramatic increases in retention if you're selling a single SKU product. Ultimately, as I said during the video, your key focus needs to be on finding ways to offset and lower CAC for new customers and using those existing happy customers to fuel organic word of mouth, and bring in new people who will purchase from you. If you can do that, it's a very effective strategy to still scaling your brand. But ultimately, once you've reached everyone in the market, assuming that you've got enough budgets to spend on acquisition, you will naturally have to start developing complementary products. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. The full guides on how to execute this strategy is in the comments and description, so make sure to check it out there. I'll see you soon.